What minor inconvenience drives you freaking insane? When a company's customer service won't provide an email or message option. Basically anything with a proper text area, useful for describing problems, screenshots, attachments. They require you to call them, or they'll have a freaking useless chatbot that was sold to a clueless idiot CEO, who has never had to actually use their help system, that is only capable of searching through their irrelevant knowledge base in the hopes of deterring you from getting any actual help. Getting help shouldn't be this hard. When confronted with chatbots, my only recourse now is to keep spamming the word human. It works on occasion. I type operator until something happens. When I go to shut down a Windows PC, but accidentally click restart instead since the options are right next to each other, so I have to wait for the computer to reboot before I can shut it down properly since there's no way to abort the process. Same with the PS4. When a Reddit comment is minimized, whatever it's called, so you click to see what the comment says but it just takes you to the profile. Haha yes. I'm new to Reddit. When I'm on the phone I do this accidentally every freaking time. When I'm in a rush and my clothes snag on something, or when someone talks to me when I'm talking to someone else on the phone. Oh boy, once I was super angry about something and I wanted to storm off to cool myself off, but a door handle found its way into the loop where the belt goes and it did quite a bit. I wanted to combust. When I'm behind someone at the cashier in the supermarket and the person paying decides to wait until the last possible second to rummage through their wallet purse for money. Narrow sidewalks upon which inconsiderate groups of slow people walk side by side instead of single file. I should not have to choose between getting your attention so you'll move out of my way and waiting for a lull in traffic so I can set onto the street to pass you. We need passing lanes on sidewalks. Sometimes people at my school just stand still in the middle of the hallways and then act super offended when you get them to move. When you click on a link on a new web page and then between the message leaving your brain and the finger clicking the web page loads an advert and moves the link down so you click the ad and have to go back. This always happens when I'm in a rush to Google something on my phone and the dang Google Doodle takes a few seconds too long to load, but still manages to load just in time for me to click the search bar and I end up involuntarily learning about some dead artist's 254th birthday. Slow people in general. Checking out in the supermarket. Folks waiting until everything is scanned and then start searching for their wallet. People sitting in their car after fueling up and doing all kind of things except from moving away from the pump, so the next one can fill up. People in line to security check at the airport not getting prepared to put their stuff in trays, of not having a clue what to do even when many people in front of them are doing what they need to do. People that have all day to get groceries going shopping around lunchtime or right after office hours, so people with a job have to wait in longer lines. I'm always baffled by the people who act surprised that they have to take their belts and shoes off like everyone else at airport security check, the normal one, not TSA pre-check or whatever it's called. That requirement's been around for years, and every time I fly, I still see someone making a surprise Pikachu face when they get asked to take off their shoes and belt. When a fly gets into your room and chooses to ignore the way it came in favor of trying to escape through your window, making that infernal freaking noise the whole time. Freaking see. Mosquitoes are worse. One year we stupidly rented a cabin in Maine in June. It was freezing cold, but the mosquitoes were still out. At night we'd turn off the lights, huddle in our sleeping bags, and then hear the close to our ears. I finally put my head into the sleeping bag, preferring suffocation to that constant threatening whine. When I listen to a podcast or audiobook with headphones and people say something to me, I pause it, take off headphones, and listen answer or whatever, then that's done so I continue, and just as I press play they say something else so I pause, take headphones off again, and so on. My sister always does this to me and she says it's not on purpose but it drives me nuts. In computer games, when someone you have to escort walks slightly slower than your run speed and slightly faster than you walk speed. Audi's new steering wheel design for the Q4. Which insane idiot puts touchscreen controls on a place you constantly move your hands around? Really? You slightly move your hand and your settings and entertainment is all over the place. Bring back normal buttons, please. I just rented a Ford Edge with a huge touchscreen right in the middle and a few knobs and buttons under it. Going down the highway, I reached over to turn down the stereo volume and my knuckle brushed the touch screen. Now the heat is on ultra maximum and is blowing in my face like a hairdryer. GRRR, that car was hot garbage. When I try to turn in my laptop, I'll click the power button and wait, but nothing happens. So I usually think maybe I didn't click it right or something. So I click the button again. After waiting a bit more, it turns on. But right when it does, it turns back off because I clicked the button twice. So I've got to wait for it to completely turn off again and retry the whole thing from the start. People driving around at night with no headlights. Where's the cops when you need them to check WTF is going on there? Also, people that drive in main roads with brights on. They're the reason I need glasses ISTG. When people in the grocery store parking lot don't put away their freaking cart. How lazy are you that you can't take 20 steps to put it in the cart return? One gust of wind catches it and it could take off and seriously freak up someone's paint job. Probably the same people who knock something off the shelf and walk on without putting it back. The doorway effect is what causes you to forget why you walked across the house to get something. Basically, the act of passing through a doorway causes your brain to dump short-term memory to prepare you for the new environment you're entering. If you then re-enter the room you thought of what you needed, you'll often remember what it was. But just be careful to hold that in your mind on your way back, or it could happen again. If I ever have to do this a third time, maybe I need an open floor plan. Being stuck behind slow people, whether it is walking or driving, it makes me extremely uncomfortable physically, and that uncomfortability drives me insane. When you are walking and there comes another person from the side, you both walking the same way, same speed, so either you walk even faster or you get weirdly stuck behind. I spent more than half an hour trying to tape up an eBay item to ship off this morning. It took so long because the packing tape kept, how do I describe this? Rolling off track. Instead of a consistent line of tape, it would tear at the sides, thin itself out and break. It did this so many times, I almost rage quit. My mother has this freaking annoying habit, one that drives me up the wall. It's minor, but she will talk about something like this. Oh hey, did you get your laundry out of the dryer? Hopefully those new dryer sheets work out well. I find that it causes less static. Me nodding and going yeah, hopefully. No sound out of her for a full minute, as I turn around to go get my clothes. My mom, so how was your day? At this point I am halfway down the hallway and I hear her talking sounds but no sentence. So I turn back and ask her what. She then reiterates, it's rude to walk away when someone is talking to you. I was asking how was your day? I have recorded her doing this, and her response is it's just how my mind works. I will be doing something or thinking of something else and then I remember I am talking to someone, but she just keeps freaking doing it. Or when they finish the second half of a conversation with you, using spoken words that started in their head. The constant pointless spam from my kids' schools. Obviously I want to know what is going on at their school. It's the whole reason I gave them my email phone number. But JFC, they send so much crap. Every little detail about every little thing. Most of it completely unrelated to my kids. Why do I need to know about details for the band camp field trip when my kids aren't in band? Why am I getting 6 emails about prom details? Or changes to the internal time schedules and classes, etc, etc, etc. On top of all of this, they robocall me about all this same crap. I kid you not. They make robocalls to let me know they will be sending me an email about such and such issue. What's next? They going to send me snail mail to inform me of the future, phone call to inform me of the future email? This is some seriously Kafkaesque crap. And why do I have to get every little email chew out session to admonish the frick ups in my kid's class when he is a perfectly behaved straight A student? I did my part to raise a good kid. Don't include me in the chastisement of the frick up crew. Eventually I go so fed up with it I removed myself from all their email phone lists. Thank God my youngest is in his final few months of school and I'll never have to deal with school balls again. When I can't tear the flavor sachet open for my 2-minute noodles and I have to go to the drawer to get scissors. Like seriously, why are they so hard to open these days? The cat food sachets do this as well. And when you finally get it to tear open you get a spray of cat food all over your hands. To top it off, if my cat doesn't like this one particular flavor, I'll get that look as he takes the first mouthful. When the motion detector light in my apartment bathrooms turns off every 2 minutes and I have to wave my hand all around outside the shower like I'm frantically calling for help. This one made me chuckle. I've had this happen to me while relaxing in the bathtub before. Ruins the whole experience. My husband is just shy of a foot taller than me and we share a car. Every bloody time I get in it after he's used it, I can't even reach the pedals properly and have to set it all up so it suits me again. It only takes a few minutes, but it's really annoying. My wife is about 8 inches shorter than me, and after she drives, it's hard for me to even get in so that I can adjust the seat. Our newer car has seat memory that adjusts by which key opens the doors. It's a dream. Poorly synchronized stoplights. We've all been there. Stuck at a red light. Go a block. Hit another red. Go another block. Hit another red. Seems like with the technology today this should be extremely easy and cheap to fix. People taking absolutely frickin' forever to set off when the lights turn to green when driving. What the frick are you doing? Waiting for a written invitation? By the time these morons have put their car in gear and moved, the lights are on their way back to red again. On the phone. Drivers. I'm not saying reckless drivers or old people that go 10 under. Just people who ride in the right lane and all of a sudden realize they need to be in the left turn lane roughly 20 feet before, and make their problem your problem. Or casual drivers in the left lane with 50 feet between them and the next car. Or especially the weirdos who stop a whole car length behind the next one at a red light. I always look at them and triple take out the gap. It's so silly. The last one especially gets me when I need to turn left and they're blocking access to the turn lane for no reason. Happens every goddamn day. When you slip a fork or spoon into your bowl of hot food, ready to carry into another room, and the sucker decides to jump out and flick food all over the carpet. People who stop at traffic lights slightly too far from the car in front of them, and then creep closer, leaving an uncomfortable gap between them and me. I mean, how hard is it to stop at the correct distance in the first place? Keeping that extra space allows you to go around the car if it stalls without needing to back up first. Also, leaving extra space allows you to move up in case the car behind you doesn't stop fast enough. Could avoid a major crash and damage. I know it doesn't change your mind, but that extra space is actually a good thing. When a thing with a single job does not perform that job well or correctly, this is the reason for your entire existence. Technically, the reason for their existence is to get you to buy it. Doing its actual job is secondary. People walking slowly, taking entire lane, or driving 20 below limit, or standing on escalators. Slow at the store, slow doing things. I think it's just people being slow is my pet peeve. When I drop something right by my feet and pick it up only to drop it again and it goes damn near across the room somehow. Approaching a stoplight in the middle of the night, no one around. 5 seconds before you hit the intersection it goes red. God damn it. Cling wraps. It was invented in 1949, and after a lot of decades, the common cling wraps that we use today was the same on that year. That sticky, annoying, difficult to cut, annoying box that disassembles after few uses. Cling wraps. When I have more than 3 things in my hands and something falls, but in the process of trying to recover the dropped item another thing fall and then another, drives me up the wall. People interrupting me while I'm in the middle of something or having a conversation. I could murder them if it was legal. When I search for images via Google on my phone, I can't easily just link the actual file. It's so much easier on a desktop. Yeah, I know I can use a browser with desktop mode on my phone, but that's the inconvenience here. Websites that do that usual cookie acceptance pop-up thingy, but doesn't provide an option to decline all unnecessary ones. So you need to see the whole dang list too. They will sell all your info to just flick the options to off. If you can make an accept all button, then make a refuse all too. Exactly, this drives me up the wall as well. And then you go into detail and they have a slider and they don't even specify which side of the slider is on or off. Frickin' buttholes. Standing in line at Walmart to check myself out. then having to call someone over to verify my age to buy glue, then calling them back over to verify my age to buy beer, then when going out the door being asked for my receipt. When there's just a little bit of water in between my fingers after washing my hand and no matter what I do it never freaking goes away. When there's a bit of hand soap trapped under my wedding rings after I've dried my hands. When my neighbors are inefficient with street parking space and I'm forced to make a second loop around the block to park farther away from home than should have been necessary. My gripe is not so much with the extra walking distance, but the extra time driving around. Good rule of thumb, park as close as you legally can to the nearest intersection, driveway, or other break-in legal curb parking space. Endeavor to maximize the number of vehicles that can park along any stretch of curb. It's the neighborly thing to do. I hate that my neighborhood doesn't have many other parking spaces to begin with, but some idiot always takes up 3 spots at once. The butthole I get stuck behind on my morning commute every freaking day. They drive 10-15 under the limit and will block any attempt to pass them. Sounds like where I live. When I'm talking to someone on the phone and unknowingly my cheek presses the mute button and then the other person is like, "Hello, you still there?" It makes me rage every time. Phones have a proximity sensor that turns the screen off when holding it to your ear. Maybe try holding it differently or yours is broken. Red lights. Yeah, I get it. We need them. But frick mate, I think about all the time I spent in my life waiting at red lights where there are no other cars around makes my blood boil. I just go through them if nobody else is around. I don't give a crap. People who get in lifts, elevators and select only one floor above or below. Just walk the stairs, you lazy bastards. Worked in a place that had one office a floor up from the other and we would go between them a few times a day. I was the only one in the entire freaking company that would rather take the stairs instead of waiting for the elevator. Even down, for crying out loud. When a customer is still having a chat after their transaction. Also when you have been waiting a long time in a fast food line and the person starts working out what they want when they get to the counter. We have been in line for 15 minutes. Why didn't you CHOOSR then? Having to deal with making a second bowl of cereal so you save the milk but there isn't enough milk for the new bowl so you have to go back to the fridge anyway. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.